Hey guys, MCU Collector here with video number 6 in the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Black Widow Wave Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure, and here we have the second comic figure of the wave. This is Marvel's Crossbones, and this is an okay figure. I wasn't really hyped about it. I used to have the SDCC Thunderbolts Crossbones figure when they released the movie Crossbones. I actually sold that one off, so unfortunately I won't be able to show you guys a comparison in that video. That figure was just okay. I think the cool thing about it was just a large bulky figure. There's some cool things. Here we have this new one. It's always nice to get an update in my opinion when it's done well. I don't think this one's going to be done well because it's the Hyperion body mold, which is a mold that I really don't like, but it is what it is, and there's some cool things, I guess. We get some accessories. We actually get 4 guns. 2 are like the futuristic looking laser guns or whatever, which is kind of weird, and then we get these 2 other guns that kind of fit him a little bit more. As you can see, one of them actually came out of the package. They should be there, so it's interesting. Let's get it opened up and take a look, but first let's look at the side artwork. Crossbones looking really good. It really highlights the black and white with a little bit of the browns of the pouches and stuff of the figure. It looks really good. Here on the back of the package we have the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure, all the figures in the wave, and here we are at Crossbones. The bio reads, Marvel's Crossbones. Crossbones makes it his mission to take out Captain America no matter the loss of life at stake. So pretty interesting Marvel logo. Crossbones. Let's open it up. Okay, and here is the Crossbones figure out of the package, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, this figure is crap. I don't like this figure, and I'll talk to you guys about the reasons why, and we will take a closer look at it and things like that. It is the Hyperion body mold, which is a mold that I'm just not a fan of, and there's nothing that really strikes me out as anything that's just going to stand out or anything like that. It's just, I guess it's an okay figure. I'm just not a very big fan of it, and to have for it to have gone so many years of having a comic Crossbones figure, I think this one's going to be a huge letdown compared to the one that they actually previously had, and again in that Thunderbolts box set. And then even before that there was the one, and I think there was the Ares Build-A-Figure Walmart exclusive wave, which was the same as the SDCC one. I think there was just some paint differences in coloring wise, but we'll take a closer look at that here in a second. He does come with the right arm to the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure piece. We'll throw that in the pile before we look at all of that. So let's get in close, look at the accessories, and look at the Crossbones figure. Okay, here's Crossbones, but first, let's look at these accessories. So he comes with 4 total guns. We have 2 of these, and these are sculpted nicely. I don't think they're very realistic looking necessarily, but they do look pretty good. They're just done in a black plastic, and again, it's 2 of these. The problem with this is there is no storage. So he has 2 holsters for Crossbones, but these ones won't actually fit in there, so that's not going to work. We get 2 of these futuristic looking laser guns or whatever these things are. They're done in that very light gray plastic that's almost translucent, so it's very cheap looking. We get 2 of these, and these are actually the ones that go into the holster because these ones actually fit, whereas the black guns do not, and it's just kind of weird that these would be the ones, and they look funky. You know, you got the brown pouches and holsters with these bright, you know, almost white looking weapons. It's just kind of weird. And then here we have the Crossbones figure, and I saw somewhere a comment somewhere saying that he looks like a luchador, and I do get that vibe with the mask. Now I understand that that's how it is supposed to look, but that is just the vibe that I get. So a couple of things. Hyperion body mold is weird. Look at that chest, how it just kind of sticks out. It's just odd to me. I don't like it. It's overused, kind of like the Bucky cap, but I don't have as many problems with the Bucky cap other than the tiny feet. Hyperion body mold I just don't like all around. A couple of things. We get the skin tone right here around his neck. That's actually painted onto the black plastic. So not that it's terrible, but even some areas right there, you see that little black line? That's because of the black coming through. So it just didn't quite cover everything there. The Crossbones itself is painted white, but that's actually done quite nicely other than that little smudge of paint extra there. I mean, you'll have to take a look at yours and see if you can get one that's going to be applied better. But for the most part, it actually looks pretty good. It's just the skin tone that doesn't look good going over there. One thing that's weird on mine when trying to move the head, like I had the head, and then like depending on where I get it, it just wants to kind of move back on its own, which is a little weird to try and get it to look up, and it wouldn't. Oh, earlier it was doing it, but I guess not so much now. So it's just kind of weird. This just kind of hangs out there. It's glued on. It doesn't turn. It's not articulated in any way. Nothing like that. Mine looks a little sloppy. We get some black coming through there. That's probably just going to be one-off types of things. Not something that you'll see on every single one. Paint apps, there's not a whole lot else. We get a little like a brass or goldish color, bronze, for the buckles here on the legs, and then right at the belt buckle we get that same bronze. Otherwise it's just done in this orange leather type of look for the whole thing. So this belt and the holster piece, it's all one piece, so it kind of floats around and kind of moves around with the figure. And then the wrists, he has these wrist cuffs that are little mini pouches. Those are done in the same color, and then they're floating pieces. They're not even on there all that tight. And then the fingertips are painted as well. These hands are very, very hard plastic too. So, you know, trying to get these guns in there was a little bit of a hassle because you have to work it in because there's just like no give when it comes to those figures. And you can get them in there, but you know, it's, you know, taking them out's easy. It's just getting him in. It's a little bit trickier. And then he has black shiny boots. So the feet and the boots are very shiny, whereas the rest of the black is a very flat matte color, but boots are shiny. So there is the close-up look at the figure. Let's look at his articulation. Okay, Crossbones articulation. So he can look all the way down because this is the Hyperion old body mold. So we actually do get a neck hinge on this guy. Can look all the way up as well. So at least we get that. But then here on the skin tone, when you look at it, you can see a lot of that black coming through on the paint app. So that's the problem that, you know, we have there. You get full rotation, of course. There is some pivot going on in there, not a whole lot. On the shoulder, you can get the shoulder to go up that high. You get a full rotation, of course. There is the upper bicep swivel there. We get a double jointed elbow, which gives you more than 90 degrees, as you can see there. Wrists swivel, and they have a hinge, although they are a roll of the dice hinge, but there's not a lot of give. So I can hinge that down, but there's not a lot of room to get the hinge to go up. So it's a little limiting in that regard. There is an ab crunch, so you can get them to crunch forward that much. So at least with this body mold, you get a good ab crunch going front and going back. There is a waist swivel in there, and the belt doesn't really get in the way. As you can see, it'll adjust as you move it around. The legs, pretty limited. So you're not going to get them to go a whole lot around, so only that far apart, which isn't a lot at all, but you can get the leg to go pretty high, back a little bit. There is an upper thigh cut there. You get a double jointed knee, which gives you that much bend, which isn't a whole lot, but you get some. We actually do get a calf swivel, boot swivel there. Foot hinges all the way down, hinges all the way up, ankle pivot, and you have peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So the Hyperion body mold has a decent articulation. It's just a very generic body that I'm just not a fan, and it's just been used over and over again. Yeah, I don't really like it too much, but let's see how he looks compared to the MCU Crossbones. What a difference between the two size-wise. Not that the actor, I forget, Frank Grillo, you know, he's not a real tall actor, but, you know, of course, you got to make it look realistic when we have movies versus comic book where things can be exaggerated. And then, you know, even the older figure was a very large figure, probably even bigger than this Hyperion body mold, especially height-wise. But, you know, we look at Crossbones, we see he's loaded up with weapons and things like that. And then here we got 4 guns that are pretty generic looking, these 2, and then those futuristic alien-looking guns. So it's just kind of weird, you know, we see the inspiration for the Crossbones. We just get kind of a white X that's on there. We don't get much of a skull logo other than kind of how the shape of the helmet is with the MCU one. But here on this figure, we have that Crossbones signature look from the comics. Again, it does look very reminiscent of luchador style. It is what it is there. Here is the Crossbones figure next to the Marvel Legends Stan Lee figure, and you can see height-wise, he just towers over Stan Lee. Okay, and here is Crossbones next to all the movie figures from the same wave, and you can see Crossbones is way taller than all of the figures in this wave. Now let's see him next to Winter Soldier. Here is the Crossbones figure next to the Marvel 80th Anniversary Captain America figure that was the Walmart exclusive, and you can see Crossbones is much larger than Steve Rogers. Okay, two of the most anticipated figures from this wave, updated comic versions of Winter Soldier and Crossbones. The Crossbones figure on the aftermarket now, it was pretty valuable. I'm not sure, you know, what it's going for now. I would imagine that it's going to stay high in value because, you know what, this figure really sucks. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to break it to you. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you think it's a good figure, are you happy with it? I, for one, I am just not happy with it. Hyperion body mold, just not a very good body mold to begin with. Maybe some other guns or something better. I don't know what it is. I just not really a fan of it. The Winter Soldier figure, however, I think will meet a lot of expectations and will be something that people will be happy about. But the Crossbones, I don't see it. But you guys let me know down in the comments below. I am curious. If you guys liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.